again, Lucky Lefty Podcast, Onora Boys in the building, brought to you by Onora Whiskey. It is OnoraWhiskey.com. It is a premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And ladies and gents, if you're going to drink, you have to make sure that you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it. The podcast. Malik, ZAIRE, SB, Too Much, Sean Davis, More Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. That's how you get at us. Lucky Lefty Podcast, Players Only Podcast, Lucky Legends Podcast. What's going down? We'll talk about Notre Dame recruiting another quarterback in the 2026 class. Please watch the film. James Blanchard. He's the next one. Chad Boat still stealing people from Notre Dame. We'll talk about that and much more. Get at us. YouTube, Lucky Lefty Network. Subscribe. Hit the Lucky Lefty thumbs up. Comments and questions, we respond to all. Your GTB questions, your super chats, get them in. We'll get to them as soon as we see them. Let me tell you something, Left. It's been a glorious day. 4 days out from a baby girl being on national TV, putting together this watch party here in Chicago, and it's perfect timing because, as I said, we've done a 21-day fast that ends on Friday, just in time for some wings on Monday. Just in time, boy. Just in time for some wings on Monday. I had somebody emphatically tell me yesterday, Love, I want to get your opinion because you're a connoisseur. Somebody emphatically spoke to me and said, Wingstop is trash.
I need more than that. I need more. You can't just throw that out there. Like how?
I said, Wingstop is trash. First of all, he said they don't give you wings, they give you winglets.
Okay, party wings, whatever. But how is it trash, though? Because me and you both agree, wings that are a little bit oddly too big, black people, we don't eat them. Wingstop, yeah, we not
like Churches and Brown's chicken. I get real scared. I get real
scared. That's more pigeon and dog legs and stuff like that. But if the wings are perfect size for Wingstop, they don't have these unusually oblong wings. They have the same. You can call them winglets, party wings, whatever, but that don't make them not good. What are we talking about? You can't just say that's trash and then move on. See, I don't like that. People that just throw out this whole, oh, it's bad, but no explanation. That's like arguing with your girl. You ask her what's wrong, she say everything and don't tell you what it is, and now you just stuck being like, oh. So you know, when you say such critical things, you need to be able to back it by something. Hit me with the
analytics.
Yeah. Hit me with something I can give you a counterpoint to, because there's no way that you think Wingstop is trash. Maybe it's not your top wing, but Wingstop for any world wing lover is in the top 4, top 5. And that's 4 or 5 because you have room to spare with your like your specific wing places like you can't get nowhere else. Like out here, you got ATL wings. You got golden wings. I don't like that. I don't like that. See, like somebody coming to Chicago talking about New York wings. I don't respect that. How you got ATL wings out in Arizona? What is ATL wings? It's all the love. It ain't location. It ain't location. That's what tricks the mind. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about Atlanta. We talking about all the love. See, I told you it's Harold's out in California, but the Harold's in California. Harold's is based on location. You can't. Most places should be based on location. ATL is Arizona, but they call it ATL because it's all the love. But they say they hit you with the marketing. They hit you with the marketing. They say Atlanta, so you thinking, oh, I'm about to go to Atlanta right with these wings. No. We just giving you all the love in the wings. The place is from Arizona.
Johnny S. In and out is trash. This proves my point. This proves my point. Wait, let me prove my point. My point is location does matter. Because I guarantee you ATL wings couldn't come to Chicago and do what they do in Arizona.
Oh, they would be the best thing going.
No, you was a lie.
They'd be the best thing going.
I rebuke you. I rebuke you.
Hey, where my dog Gino Williams? Where my dog Gino
Williams can talk all he wants to.
Gino, tell him about ATL, Gino.
ATL wings is the big fish in the little pond. That's
spicy ATL style? Come on.
Big fish, little pond. Big fish, little pond.
It's more like shark in the fish tank.
Harold's went to Atlanta. Wait. The same ATL stands from Atlanta, right?
No. It stands for all the love.
Oh, it stands for all the love.
Yeah, it's not location.
I thought it was ATL. My bad.
See, that's how they get. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. They think you're going to Atlanta.
All I know is Harold's Chicken went to Atlanta and took over.
That's the problem.
That's all I know. It's not just about Chicago. It's the quality of the food. Took over. So you bring that all the love chicken in here, Chicago, going to be top 10. Just like In and Out.
I'm telling you, they will be top 10 off of two sauces. Off of two sauces.
Now that's suspect. No, that's
actually not ATL, and you got spicy ATL.
That's not.
And then they hit you with the chef special, where it's ATL mixed with a secret salt. Look, Sean, I'm trying to tell you, these is not just some ordinary wings, which comes to, and that's why you have to have.
I actually like that acronym, all the love. I like that.
See, it's different.
I like that.
And it's funny because they're out of New York. And I know you don't like hearing about New York wings.
Because in New York, wait a minute, this is the truth. New Yorkers would tell you their best wings come from Cantonese spots. They go to China. They order their wings from Chinese and Cantonese restaurants. That's a fact. You ask all the New Yorkers. That's the boroughs. In the boroughs. That's what they get Jerron on the with. Ask Jerron next time. The next time Jerron is on, ask Jerron. He'll tell you.
The Cantonese spots. We have a couple of these places. West Side Window. They got great jalapeno wings, but you know about the Chinese people do full wings though.
Yeah. I think that because that was the first thing he mentioned, right? And so today's show, we always throw the alley-oop, right? Always throw the alley-oop. So we want you to put a nice little special sauce on the 2024 season. How are you gonna season this 2024 season to describe it? What word would you use? What sauce would you put on it? And then LL Nation, Notre Dame fans, I need you to tell me your top 3 moments of the regular season and your top 3 moments of the postseason. Top 3 moments of the regular season, top 3 moments of the postseason. Let us know. Notre Dame coach is still out on the road today. Texas, North Carolina, Midwest, all over the place, getting things done. Chad Bowden left a vacancy for the GM. It's still left for GM. The saga continues. We still march on.
They ain't even telling me where to go sign up. They keeping it a Chinese secret or something.
They didn't send you the link.
They ain't send me the link, the number. The mayor didn't hit me back. They must be hiring in house or something. I don't know what they do.
Oh man! So last night we talked about. We gave our grades for every position room for the year. We gave our grade for every position room last night. So today, let's get to your top 3 moments. of the regular season in 2024. It's a lot of good moments, man. But what moments stick out to you the most from the regular season?
Uh, man, what moment stood out?
Let's see. You got Marcus Freeman walk out at Texas A&M.
I think
That was a
that
great
set the tone for the season, but we didn't see it after that. So I guess that can count as the moment. Because I don't remember seeing him anything like that. Well, maybe the Texas A&M environment causes that. You got 120,000 first game of the season. It's lit. You on national television. That's cool. The back-to-back pick sixes in the USC game against a rival, I thought was a beautiful moment. It showed a true journey of being
Mm-hmm.
ready for the playoffs. So I thought that was a huge thing. I think beating Georgia obviously is a huge moment. Just the way in which we beat them.
Regular season, just regular season before I
Oh,
jump.
regular season. Regular season wise, I think for me it was the Army game, and just to see, okay, we're solidly built and we can win in many ways. You know, that's when I realized, okay, we got a chance to win in many ways. Offensively, we can score points while having our quarterback in the day with 100 yards. So that's when I knew we had a chance. Um, Everything else is sort of a blur. I think the NIU obviously was a huge moment. It may not be as positive moment, but it was a huge moment just because you got to see adversity early with enough time to respond, and how we responded became the story of the second half of the season. Double-digit victories and like was it 11 consecutive games, something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris Mitchell having a moment coming back after being open all day and then having a huge game. What was it? The game after NIU? No. That wasn't Purdue. The game when we played back at home after the NIU loss. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see, we rewarding our transfers. It felt like they was listening to the fans, saying, "How is Chris Mitchell not getting involved?" I thought that was huge. Jeremiah Love impressed the whole season, so it wasn't really a moment that I thought was so much different.
Uh-huh.
The injuries were moments. Traore and Botello
Good
going
call.
down the same game. That was a moment. That was a huge moment
No,
because
Traore was against Louisville. Botello was
right,
against Purdue. Yeah.
so back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Ben Morrison going down mysteriously, and Leonard Moore's pop-out
Mysteriously.
game versus Louisville. His pop-out game versus Louisville, where he had the fumble and the good couple tackles. I don't
He was
think Riley
thinking of
Leonard.
the Miami, Ohio game with Chris Mitchell.
Right. I don't really think Riley had too many moments. I just think he because what was his best game? Like, Purdue?
Regular season?
Yeah, probably Purdue.
I don't think Purdue was his best game. I would probably
Yeah, like
say his
150
best
rushing,
game.
150 throwing or something like that.
Oh, he definitely balled out.
But I mean, he didn't play in moments for me. He was just the constant of the season. Like as he played as well as he played, we went with Katie Urlacher's couple of flash moments I remember
Against Purdue?
distinctly.
Yeah.
I just distinctively remember how he was coming down, making some tackles. That was a good thing to see for the future. Jadarian Price having a big moment versus Texas A&M, and he's from Texas, right? Winning the game or breaking open the game how he did, that was a moment. I mean, other than that, we just played good the whole season. I mean, you lose moments when games aren't close. And games stop being close after like the first 3 or 4 games, or 2 or 3 games. So regular season is kind of a blur just because the level of difficulty, I think it didn't give us enough to be like two standout moments, just good times in which guys stepped up or made plays or whatever. I think the
Yeah.
playoffs is definitely more moment defining. And yeah, I mean, shit, missing a bunch of kicks. That was a bunch of moments throughout the season. Sick of seeing that for sure.
I
Hell, if
think
we
his
had a
three best games, just from a combined yardage total and production, which you have to look at with Riley Leonard. The Stanford game, I think he went over 300 total. Miami, Ohio game was a really good game.
but you're saying total, like it wasn't even 300 passing, it was 300 total.
Well, dude, stop asking him to do stuff that he's not going to do.
Right. I think that's the mark in which we get away
So
from
stop
next year.
looking for things. Stop looking for things that you know are not going to show up.
Right. I think we've learned from that. We're not going to get something out of a guy who's never done it eventually in the season. So if he comes in having under 3,000 yards passing, it's not going to change in one season either. Well, for him, it didn't.
Yeah. I think the Louisville game had a couple of moments. One, which is a horrible play in the RPO, and Leonard Moore arrives. Louisville would be the arrival of Leonard Moore. Christian Gray goes out with an injury. Warm-ups, Leonard Moore comes in as a true freshman opposite Benjamin Morrison. Has to play the field. Of course, he ends up being the boundary corner after Morrison's injury. It goes on to be freshman All-American, but chasing down Tyler Shuck and stripping him after a long run and then playing the rest of the game just impeccably. Big moment. I think the fourth down stops against Georgia Tech and going up against a team that physically had, dominated Florida State to start the season. They were trending, and after they played Notre Dame, that team struggled for about a 2 to 3 week period. That stands out to me because that was the start of Notre Dame just physically imposing their will on teams. It was almost like that's when they took it to another level. The Purdue game was just like the Purdue game was the perfect response to the Northern Illinois loss. Like, if you want to see a team respond to a disappointing loss, the way they responded on the road at Purdue, man, that's the way you want it to be done.
Yeah.
The Navy game, to me, was funny because 51-14, but it was like Navy didn't even, it was almost like Navy was like shook up. Navy was the undefeated squad, the high flying offense, putting up points at will, and it was almost like Mobb Deep. They were the shook ones. They came out turning the ball over uncharacteristic.
Yeah, they shook them. I think they shook themselves. Like it was. I mean, it was over so fast. That was the issue I had.
It was over early.
It was over fast. I mean, it was the first like 3 or 4 possessions. It was like 28 points.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's the possessions of the game, not even 3 or 4 possessions on offense. It was the first 3 or 4 possessions of the game in which they lost the
Yeah.
game.
Jeremiah Love, like you said, him, first of all, I can go back to the first game. Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price signaling to college football, like, we're about to be a problem as a running back duo. We're about to be a problem. And while you look over here, we're pulling the illusion because here comes this kid named Aeneas Williams, who's our third down back as a true freshman. Like, that's a moment. That's really something to look at. Jeremiah Love, every hurdle, every great run. Heck, the touchdown run against Northern Illinois where he hurdled a guy in the middle of the field, kept his balance, and ended up taking it to the house. That's a great moment, even though Notre Dame ended up losing the game. The trash talking. We rarely see Notre Dame play with the swagger. This has to be one of the most swagged out Notre Dame teams I've ever seen play. The O-line is a great story. I don't know if it's top 3, but the O-line is a great storyline this year. What they endured during fall camp to lose your best player on the offensive line and your left tackle. Then to go to freshman on the left side. Then to make the adjustment after losing your starting center and your starting right guard. Of course, Billy Schroff will return, but your veterans were right there, ready to carry the torch. Right? And your freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and your true freshmen on the left side, doing what they could, being put in difficult situations by the coaching staff. They did what was necessary to win football games and allow this team to grow. Mike Denbrock, in the middle of the season, just kind of like switching. Like the offense we wanted to be, we can't be this year. We can't be that offense this year. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to build this offense around Riley Leonard instead of making him become a part or integrated into what we want to do and what we want to be. And we're going to rebuild this offense in the middle of the season. Now, one can say that a schedule like they had gave him the ability to do that. However, he still did it, right? There were questions. He found the answers. We know the previous year with Sam Hartman, the offensive coordinator, was not able to do so. He wasn't able to find the answers in the middle of the season or during a tough stretch. So those are great things. My top 3, though, left, without question, I'm going to go with the walkout at Texas A&M and the subsequent win. The NIU loss, I think, is huge. Even though it's a loss, it galvanized the team. It refocused the team. They learned a valuable lesson. And hey, they made it to the national championship. Last but not least, the pick sixes at USC. That culminated is literally, the pick sixes and the walkout of Texas A&M are almost like alpha omega moments of the year. First game, last game. And someone said it after the Northern Illinois game. The rest of the season was kind of just, man, we were just all watching because we didn't know where it was headed. After that, we didn't know what we were going to get week to week, game to game. So we just watched and watched and watched and watched until we got to USC and it was all on the line. And then you have the 2 pick sixes to send Notre Dame to the college football playoff and their pathway to a national championship matchup with Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree. I think, including some playoff moments, I'm telling you, that R.J. Oben moment with the
Let's get to it. Your top 3.
You talk about a moment.
Top 3 moments. Your top 3 playoff moments. Left your top 3 playoff moments.
R.J. Oben is definitely my top. I just think the way he was able to make it in a crucial moment like that to seal a victory. Well, it wasn't seal it, but it was to put some space and give us the momentum we needed. I loved it. I think Jaden Greathouse' performance in the playoffs, making the dude fall, was a huge moment for the receiver room in which nobody believed in. Nobody believed we got there because of with their help. And Jordan Greathouse' play made it feel like, okay, this is more than just a running team. And when it came in the game, I just thought it was a perfect time, very memorable moment. And then maybe the kickoff return in the second half against Georgia will be the third moment, just because it was so out of like such at a crucial time. It felt like a movie. Nobody could have predicted it. Next level right there.
Can I package RJ Oben? I'm a mark RJ Oben strip sack and then mark the kickoff.
Yeah, it was like the transfer game. It was literally transfer.
That moment, that time period right there in the midst of that game is definitely top three. Definitely top three. Jeremiah Love's 98-yard touchdown for the first touchdown in points ever in college football playoff history at Notre Dame on campus in Notre Dame State. Has to be top three. Has to be. It's historical on so many levels. That is a moment. It's undeniable. It's flat out undeniable. Christian Gray's interception. Because I'm like, there's no way. As they sat there and they ran the ball on first down and got a first down, I'm saying to myself, Penn State is about to run this clock out and go to overtime. And when I saw Drew Aller drop back, I said, no way. There's no way.
Yeah, you knew he was going to give you one.
There's no. Dude, he tried to give them interceptions all night.
The whole game, yeah.
The whole game with his lollipop throws, he was trying to give the ball away. That interception and what it led to the eventual game-winning field goal for Miss Jeter. But I rock with you with the Jaden Greathouse making the defender fall and then the touchdown. The Jeremiah Love touchdown run against Penn State is a great candidate. That's a great candidate. Absolutely. The first drive against Ohio State. Hey, that's a great moment. Didn't end the way we thought it would. Didn't end the way we might have wanted it to left. But that first drive.
First drive was definitely important. It just showed that we came to play. I think we just ran out of gas. I mean, 18 plays on one drive. That's hard work right there.
I got Jay Lamont with the super chat. If you have a super chat or GTB question, lock it in. Lemo versus Love in the 40. Lenny caught Judkins. I'm just saying. I don't know. I would have to. I mean, Jeremiah Love's track speed is.
His pull away speed second gear.
I mean, he was leaving Indiana players with an injured knee. People forget he injured his knee versus USC. He wasn't 100% in Indiana, and he took it to the house 98 yards and left Indiana players in the dust. So, I don't know. I'm glad they're both on our team. I could care less. I could care less who will win. I could care less. You know what, Garland Doxy? That's a great one. The fake punt sub against Georgia. The fake pump.
That was a very classy move. Very classy move.
Yeah. Ooh, regular season, the Tyler Buckner fake punt. That's a good one. The Denbrock 2-point conversions were silly. Oh, the run for the first down against Georgia. Yes. He took off John Elway style. Got helicoptered a little bit. I agree with that. I'm sure Left will be jumping back in. He got disconnected. I'm sure that's going to be a great story. D. Dangler said the freshman dabs. Okay. All right. Eric O'Brien, I see what you're saying about the Wingstop fries. I'll make sure I tell Left when he jumps back in. Trying to see some of your other comments. Yeah, Sean Paulus, I agree with you, man. J Love's touchdown, 2 yards out, but it felt like one of the best 15 to 20-yard runs you ever see. Ryan Loftus, it depends. See, Harold's is very great at cooking the order, right? For me, 6 wings, lemon pepper, mild sauce, hot sauce on the side. Mild sauce on the chicken and fries, hot sauce on the side because I dip my wing in the hot sauce as I eat it. Some people get mild and hot sauce. My wife loves 4 wings, lemon pepper, mild sauce, ketchup. She does mild sauce ketchup on the fries. So, yeah, it depends. And, if you like yours fried hard, make sure you tell them fried hard. And they'll make sure, most people tell them to fry it hard to make sure that they get the freshest wings. You know how you go to the drive up in McDonald's for their fries and you say, man, no salt. Right? So they salt the fries that they already have, So you tell them no salt, which means they have to drop a fresh batch, give you your fresh fries, and then you can add your salt later. So those are the keys. So Notre Dame offered a kid in the 2026 class, and he's a quarterback. And it was kind of shocking because they already have Noah Grubb. And his name is Legend Bay from North Forney High School in Forney, Texas. 3-star kid. Kid is 5'10", 180 pounds. He has offers from Baylor, Arizona State, Arkansas, California, Colorado. They're already on him. So for me, it was very interesting. And I spoke with the young man a little bit earlier today, and he is going to be solidifying a visit to Notre Dame within the next couple of days. And he plans to come up this spring. I watch his film, and the way it's been explained to him is that he has 2 options. He can redshirt and then compete in his redshirt freshman year as a pure quarterback, or he can come in as an athlete, wildcat quarterback situations, and play immediately. And I was like, okay, now I better understand why they're going after this kid. Because if you watch the film, ladies and gentlemen, he is a fantastic, an absolute fantastic young man. out of Forney, Texas, and everything that he does. So I'm going to put on some of his film just to see if you guys like what you see. He is in my opinion, he's an above average thrower of the football. Has a good arm. Good arm. It's live. You can do what you need to do with it. But I think overall, his athleticism, his strength, man, he is a strong runner of the football. And so here we go. Legend Bay, Forney, Texas, North Forney High School. Let's get it. Out the gate. Watch this play. This is the first highlight. Look at this. Legs, just, man, powerful, balance, strength, and then the ability, after struggling and fighting through, to still have the endurance to break away from guys. Like I said, down the middle, solid arm. Nothing that's going to make your eyes pop out your head like, oh my God. Really good arm. Once again, you have to realize he's still growing. 5'10", 185. He's explosive to the outside. This is in the state of Texas, so he's playing really good competition. And I can definitely see him in the Wildcat being used, because you're going to have, let's say if it's CJ Carr, it's going to be great to have look at that jump pass. It's going to be great to have someone to come in and compliment him, especially in short down situations. I think Notre Dame liked what they had from Riley Leonard, right? Because when you have a quarterback like Riley Leonard or a Josh Allen, I think it alleviates having to come up with things to convert third downs on third and short. And it gives you the ability to be very aggressive on fourth downs. And having a kid like this to be able to complement a Kenny Minchie or a CJ Carr would definitely give Notre Dame a chance to continue that aspect of the offense that they were able to find with Riley Leonard this year. He's a very competent thrower of the football. He really is. But he's a powerful runner. And he's not as big as Riley Leonard, but he runs with the same amount of power that you can trust in short down situations. That's what I really love about these kids as I watch him. Look, he's scrambling, eyes still up down the field, and then he finally decides to take off. And when he takes off, it's a wrap. And how can you not love a kid? His first name is Legend. His first name is Legend. You know what I'm saying? How can you not love a kid who has the first name Legend? The books are already written. I can see the stories already. Yeah. He's fast, man. He's fast. He's short. He's stocky, powerful runner. And he has a lot of interest. I think the fact that Notre Dame was just honest with this kid. They ran that formation on 1st and 10. That's crazy. Yeah. Honestly, I think he would be a perfect complement to Noah Grubbs, who is very much a pro-style quarterback. So if you can get 2 for 1, have the ability to use him as your other quarterbacks are playing, and then when Noah Grubbs comes along, he's competing with this young man because he's been able to develop, and to have both of those guys in your program to go out there and give your offense every single aspect that it needs to be successful and convert. I like it. So hopefully he gets up to Notre Dame this spring, and we'll see how his recruitment goes. But he was very excited to be contacted by the Fighting Irish. And it says something about Notre Dame that they feel like, they have the luxury early on. This is not something that's later. Early on in the 26 recruiting cycle, they offer this kid because they're like, as you can see, he's playing teams like Allen. He's going up against top competition down there in the state of Texas. Yeah, he's a really good combination of speed and power as a dual threat quarterback. Last play here. Yeah, that quarterback power is different for this young man. Legend Bay, North Forney High School, Forney, Texas. Right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast. So let's check it out. No, they won't use him as a straight up quarterback. He would never commit to Notre Dame as a straight up quarterback. No, the options they gave him are, you have to make an appealing option for him to be a straight quarterback when he wants to play running back when he wants to play quarterback. It's obvious. They know he's made it apparent that he wants to play quarterback. As I said before, he has offers from schools like Colorado, Baylor, Arizona State, Arkansas, California. Um, he has powerful offers, so he doesn't have to settle. Houston is in on him. Missouri's in on him. Oklahoma, Oregon, Ole Miss, TCU, Pitt, San Diego State, Texas Tech, UTEP, UCF, UTSA, Grambling State. Now let me play advocate here. I don't never like to say devil's advocate, but let me play advocate here. This is just me connecting dots. The news broke about the possible replacement for Chad Bowden on yesterday, which means I want to make sure I say this correctly. I don't want anybody at Notre Dame to be upset with me. I don't think it would be strange if James Blanchard, who has already offered this kid and has been talking to Notre Dame before the news came out yesterday that he has emerged as a leader to replace Chad Bowden as general manager at Notre Dame. And then when that news breaks, one of the offers is Legend Bay, who has already been offered by Texas Tech. And James Blanchard is the current general manager at Texas Tech. I'm just connecting dots. Because I would assume in the midst of conversations about the job that Notre Dame would ask about, are there certain guys that we're not possibly on right now in the state of Texas that we should take a look at? Maybe it's much of nothing. Maybe I'm seeing smoke where there is no smoke. Or it could all be connected. So, that's really just something to think about. And maybe that lends itself to, this Blanchard news really, picking up steam. And maybe everything is really in the works. And he's paying dividends even right now, And maybe he was able to say, look, if you're going to come at this kid, this is the way you need to come at him. I've been in Texas. I know him. I've talked to him. I know the family dynamic. I know how we need to recruit this kid. Go ahead and make him an offer. Like I said, I spoke to the young man this morning. He is excited, man. He is excited. He's supposed to be talking to the coaching staff later on today. So could that call be coming from the new GM? No. But the kid said he's definitely waiting on that call to schedule a trip to get up to Notre Dame this spring. And he already has a pre-existing relationship with James Blanchard, who offered him a Texas already. Just trying to connect the dots for you, because that's what we do. We spin it different. Just checking on Left. He said he had to take a call real quick. And we gave our top moments. There's some other things I want to talk about, some recruiting news. As I said before, Notre Dame continues to be on the road. I know they met with Ebenezer Utade. They went and checked on him today at South Garner. We went over his film a couple of shows ago. On Monday, I believe we went over his film. Fantastic defensive end. He measured at 6'3", 221 at Notre Dame this weekend. He's listed on 24/7 at 230. He weighed in at Notre Dame. He's right at 221. And just talking to his coach, Brian Yarborough from South Garner, his defensive line coach, he gave me a comp. He said that Notre Dame wants him to play the Viper position at 250 pounds, which means he's going to have to gain another 30 pounds, which means his speed and his power and his hand striking is only going to get better as he gains weight and puts on weight. And he also went on to say that Notre Dame is in a really good position. Marcus Freeman and Al Washington stopped by that young man's school today, South Garner, and at Garner, North Carolina. And it went well. I have a piece going up, I believe, tomorrow, 2 pieces on a guy, because he is a guy that Notre Dame has really kind of targeted. He's one of their top defensive targets in the 26 class, from what I'm hearing. And he's a priority. And they want to make sure that he knows that he's a priority. Marcus Freeman, Al Washington, once again, they stopped by South Garner today. I have a couple of articles. I have an article from the point of view of Ebenezer Utade, the young man, and then I have another article, an extensive article and breakdown of his coach, defensive line coach Brian Yarborough, who was gracious enough to sit down and talk to me about his young athlete and the visit and how everything went. He had a great man. Read the article when it comes out, because I break down a conversation, a very important conversation that he had one-on-one with Al Washington about his young athlete. And I think I respect coaches that have the opportunity to accompany their guys on their trips with the intent of asking questions and making sure that they get the answers and accurately relaying what they need and what their young athlete needs to be at their best at whatever program they decide to go to. So salute to his defensive line coach. They drove the 730 miles. They drove all the way from Garner, North Carolina, up to South Bend. So I told you, when kids like that make that type of trip unofficially to come check out Notre Dame, that says a lot in my mind. That says a lot about where Notre Dame sits in their hierarchy or in their rankings of top schools. Galen Hubbard, my man, we appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your super chat. I forgot you. I'll give you this little tidbit. He feels like that eventually Ebenezer is going to be a 4-star. He's currently a 3-star, ranked as the 46th defensive end in the country in his class. He's going to be a 4-star. As soon as Notre Dame offered, and he went on the visit this weekend, as soon as Notre Dame offered, and he got back home, he got offers, I want to say from 6 other programs. I know Alabama offered after Notre Dame. I think Florida State had already offered. Georgia offered after Notre Dame. Ohio State offered after Notre Dame. And Penn State offered after Notre Dame and after the Notre Dame visit. So we already know, once Notre Dame jumps on a kid, all of the other schools tend to come after them. A lot of schools sit back and they watch Notre Dame and this staff and Marcus Freeman and what they do. And if James Blanchard comes on board, they're going to do the exact same thing. So his comp, once again, I almost keep forgetting to give the comp. His comp is Michael Williams from Georgia. He feels like once this kid gets 250 pounds of muscle on him, he's going to be able to stand and get after the passer and set the edge, or put his hand in the ground and set the edge and get after the passer. Either way, he has incredible bend. He has incredible natural bend and natural striking power with his hands. It's just natural for the kid. When he came to high school, he was a 170-pound wide receiver. And in 2 seasons, this shows you the work ethic of this kid and why Notre Dame loves him and why Al Washington loves him. He showed up as a freshman as a 170-pound wide receiver. Now he is a 221-pound defensive menace. Wide shoulders, great frame, should be able to put on 30 pounds easily and keep the speed and increase in power. So that's one of the top athletes I wanted to give you guys some updates on, speaking to Ebenezer Utade, his defensive line coach, Brian Yarborough. And then I wanted to give you guys some intel, a little bits of intel on Legend Bay out of Forney, Texas, North Forney High School, a recent offer that already had an offer from Texas Tech. All of a sudden, James Blanchard's name is thrown about as a replacement for Chad Bowden, and he receives an offer from Notre Dame. So, oh yeah. All right, guys, that's our show today. Our shows are going to be between 50 minutes to an hour consistently. Wednesday is going to be our night show because I'm in at the ministry doing ministry work. So Wednesdays during the day are going to be very troublesome. I have a special show. We check out IB on Monday. Lock in. IB Monday. Can't tell you a lot. It's going to be a really big show on Monday. Something new. You want to check it out. So Monday and Wednesdays, you'll be able to check myself and Left out in the evenings. We won't go as late as we did yesterday. We're not going to go that late. You can expect us to be on about 5 or 6 Eastern time. That's 4 or 5 Central. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, that's going to be our show time. And off season, more than likely, unless something big hits or we have an interview, most of the shows are going to be close to an hour long and get in and out, keep you updated with a lot of recruiting news. We're literally right now, we probably have, I think, from what I've heard, we are probably 6 weeks out from the pro day and the first practice. 6 weeks out from the pro day and the first practice. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it because spring break usually hits and then the pro day and the practice. Though the spring game was on the 26th of April. So I'm interested in seeing how they set things up this year. But 6 weeks, got 6 weeks of conversation. We're going to talk about and wrap up the 2024 season, moments, players, break down how we expect certain players to improve and what role they'll play going into the off season in the spring. And then we're going to talk about the 25 season coming up in the week. The scheduling, game by game, and then I always do a series that's going to be exclusively over on Patreon. Where I look back at every game, and what we discovered about Notre Dame in the Texas A&M game, the Northern Illinois game, and I go through every game throughout the season. Those are going to be like 5 to 10 minute shows, nothing extensive, just a 5 to 10 minute podcast, fun, quick. And I hope you guys enjoy it over at patreon.com. Those are going to start loading up over at patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network next week. All right. So Left had to jump off to take a very important call. So for Left, SD2 mics, stick with us, lock in with us all off season right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast, and lock in with me and recruiting. I'm back full. I'm back full now. All right. Full go over at IB Recruiting. I got about 3 or 4 stories that should be dropping over the next couple of days, and then more intel to come. Next week, I'll be checking out 6'7", 300-pound offensive tackle from Mount Carmel High School here in Chicago in the 26th class. What's his first name? His last name is Impumba. I do not want to mess up the young man's first name, so let me find it right here. We had a conversation on yesterday. And I've never had a recruit, Claude and Pumbaa. I've never had a recruit literally invite me to their basketball game. I was like, absolutely, I'll come watch you play basketball because he's excited about his Mount Carmel Caravan squad. I think they lost right before the state finals last year. They lost right before the state finals last year. So they have a good team coming back. So I can't wait to see him, talk to him, and give you guys some more intel about his recruitment and Notre Dame and Joe Rudolph, who was here recruiting him, and then, according to reports, might have snuck up to Hallis Hall for an interview with the Chicago Bears. We'll possibly have more on that when it drops. So have a great day. We appreciate you guys. Most of all, you have to make sure, you got to make sure that you continue to spin it different. Have a blessed day.